Morning, ladies and gentlemen, commissioners, and guests and staff. I'd like to welcome you all to the June 16th Post Falls Urban Renewal meeting. If we could have the director call the roll, please.
Okay, Commissioner Carstensen?
Here.
Crosby?
Aye.
Malzahn?
Here.
Davis? Here. Coles?
Here.
Thank you.
And Chairman Botzell has an excused absence today.
Thank you. I'd like to ask Jamie to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Ceremonies, appointments, announcements. Is there anything for today?
No.
Nothing today, okay. Conflict disclosure, anybody have any conflict disclosure with anything on the agenda?
No.
Hearing none, we'll move on to the consent calendar.
Okay, good morning, Vice Chairman and Commissioners. Item A in the consent calendar is the Commission meeting minutes of May 19th, 2016. Item B is the Communication, Property, and Personnel Committee minutes of June 1st. Finance Committee is item C. Finance and Policy minutes of June 3rd. Item D is the Commission Workshop meeting minutes of June 8th, 2016. And item E is for this month is the payables totaling $22,375.23. Item F is the bank activity report, which shows all funds in all accounts of $2,876,754.68 and accrued interest for the month of $963.85. Item G is the financial reports as of May 31st that are as printed from our in-house QuickBooks accounting system and will be posted to our website as usual. And the final item, H, is the fiscal FY 2016 audit engagement letter from Anderson Brothers CPA. Your approval of the consent calendar will authorize the transfer of $963.85 accrued interest to the general fund and transfer to the IMB checking account $22,375.23 for general payables. Mr. Vice Chairman, I would answer any questions and a roll call vote would be in order.
Any questions of the consent calendar?
Vice Chairman, I just had one comment. I reviewed the audit engagement letter. We have experienced some fairly significant increases in the audit costs over the last couple of years, which are primarily related to the activities involving the construction projects we've been involved in. But I think going forward in 2017, fiscal year 2017, we should discuss fee levels with Anderson Brothers. Because those projects will have been completed and the level of their audit responsibilities will have declined significantly.
Right, and I spoke with Annie from Anderson Brothers, and she indicated that that would be the case. So, but we will get a hard number when we get closer to that time.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Commissioner Crosby. Anybody else have any comments on anything on the consent calendar? If not, I'd like to ask for a motion to approve the consent calendar.
I move we approve the consent calendar.
Motion, is there a second?
Second the motion.
Okay, second. Roll call vote?
Carstensen?
Yes.
Crosby?
Yes.
Malzahn?
Aye.
Davis?
Aye.
Coles?
Aye.
Thank you. Move on to committee updates, finance and policy. Commissioner Crosby.
The Finance Committee will be meeting on Monday, the 27th at 8 o'clock in the Chamber conference room to begin the process of establishing a budget for fiscal year 2017. And that's all I have to report. Oh, we've completed our work on policy number 1, which is my understanding going to be discussed at our July workshop.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Commissioner Coles?
On district review, I don't have any new stuff other than I talked to Bill Melvin, and he's going to contact Mr. Watson and Wadsworth Group as far as that lift station,
Ah,
trying to cooperate on getting that lift station done, that upgrade.
that'll be very important, and it could be very interesting.
Yeah.
Communications, property, and personnel, myself. At this point, the list of potential names for the replacement of the commissioner, current commissioner has been turned over to the city and have heard nothing back at this point. So we're waiting on them. Citizen comments. This section of the agenda is reserved for citizens wishing to address the commission regarding an agency-related issue. Comments related to the future public hearings should be held for that public hearing. Persons wishing to speak will have 5 minutes. Is there any citizen that would like to speak? I see one. Would you please come up to the podium, state your name and address, and as you can see, the clock is running. Thank you, Joe.
You bet. My name is Joe Dellenfeld. My address is 3864 East First Avenue, Post Falls, Idaho. Good morning, Commissioners. I'm here on a little mission to see if I can inspire you to help out another area of our city. Over the past couple of years, the City Engineering Department has been working on a traffic flow pattern improvement for 7th Street, 7th Avenue here in the city. And through this all, they've gotten a grant from the federal government and some city money to be able to accomplish it. We're a little bit delayed in the project. They just went out to bid here not too long ago, and I think construction should start fairly soon. But in driving around, I noticed how well you did on Spokane Street in this area with the improvements that you made. And unfortunately, when we applied for this grant, which was several years ago, there were a few items that weren't really included in it. They have the money for the sidewalks, the curbs, the paving, and all of that. But I would ask this agency to consider, with some of your unexpended funds that you have maybe left over from 4th Street or some of the projects that you have down here, to maybe work with the City Engineering Department and see if you could find somewhere between $40,000 and $50,000 to include some pedestrian lighting or street lighting, if you will, that's cohesive to what you've done over on the Spokane Street area. I think it would tie together well. We're kind of a small little area there, but there's a lot of small businesses. You've got the Oval Office, which is right now, I think, putting a new front porch on. You've got Flowers by Paul that's been there for years. We've got Willie's Barbecue. We've got a little restaurant that I happen to own called Tilly's there. The bank is up the street. Les Schwab is there. Bob's 21. That whole area, I think if we make it a little bit more pedestrian friendly with a little bit better lighting and perhaps maybe a little district signage, the money that you could maybe do a one-time grant for to an area that's out of a district that you have, but I think you have the capabilities of allowing a grant if it's spent for improving an area that's probably one of the oldest urban renewal areas around. It's kind of been grassy walks up against a street for probably since we created the city of Post Falls. But that's my request, and I know it's kind of out of the norm to come and talk about that kind of thing, but I'd ask you, rather than to give me all the answers why you can't, think about it a little bit and see if perhaps there's a way that this agency could help. It'll help improve and tie together what you've already done. We're on the other side of the freeway, so we haven't been in a district. There hasn't been a district created. We probably should have at one time, because these corridors all kind of run this way, you know, and there's kind of a skip and a miss here. One area is improved, one area is not, then the next one's improved. So that would help a lot. And I think if you talk to the engineering department, I think that you'd find that money would go a long way and really make that area a lot better. So that's why I'm here this morning. So thank you for your time, and if you have any questions of me, I'll be happy to answer them.
Any questions for?
Thank you.
Thank you. Any?
I'm sorry, could we address council? Council, is there a procedure for allocating money to an area outside of an existing district?
No, actually, the property has to be in an urban renewal district in order for us to spend urban renewal funds. So, the city center district would have to be expanded to include that area, or a new district would need to be formed.
And that would be a modification that, under the new legislation, would potentially trigger the reset of all of the tax increment in city center.
Right.
That's a high hill to climb.
Yeah.
Okay.
But there's always the possibility of, creating a new district.
Or if we close a district down, having excess funds that would be allocated back to each of the taxing districts, including the city, that would be surplus and could be utilized for whatever
Right.
the city council decided to allocate that to.
Correct.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Good question. Good proposal. We move on to unfinished business. Is there any unfinished business that comes before us?
None.
Hearing none, we'll go to number 8, new business.
None.
No new business. Number 9, staff report.
You got to get busy and give us some new business.
Staff reports
first
and updates.
I just want to let the commission know that we have received a letter of acceptance from the city for the Spokane Street renovation project. And so that project is now completely closed, so we have one under our belt.
Yay.
And that's all I have to report.
Okay, commissioner comments? Any commissioners have any comments they'd like to make?
I'd like to thank staff for giving us for getting to us the plans for the construction of the Expo Parkway between Bow and Beck. Okay, I get the B's mixed up. Between Bow and Beck, I thought those plans were exactly what each of us were looking for, and then I see no obstacle then to moving forward with that OPA.
Good.
As you got an email from the director regarding those plans. They're over in her office. If you have a chance, you should go look at them, and exactly what Commissioner Crosby said. It kind of lays out everything that we had been looking to do. So I'd encourage you to go eyeball those plans. So any other commissioner comments? If not, chairman comments? I have nothing to report other than Jerry will be back next time, I'm sure. And I do want to congratulate our director for sitting in that chair now and doing a good job for the first week. So,
Yeah, week.
Keep it up.
Probation's not up yet.
Probation time.
Thank you.
So, well, if that's all we have, we probably set a record here this morning, having a urban renewal meeting that lasted 10 minutes. So with that, if we'll make a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
We have a motion and second to adjourn. We are adjourned. We don't need a roll call vote on that.
Nope.
We're adjourned. Thank you.